Good day, YouTube, and welcome to another episode of the Albino Rhino beer review. Today you have the Rhino, and we're looking at a beer. Today's beer is from Louks Brewing Company in Dorval, Dorval, Quebec. This is Louks Honey Brown. Ooh. And what do we have for ABV here? Looks like 6, but I am blind. Yeah, 6. 1 second here. Into the Yes, 6% alcohol for their honey brown. Now, I don't know if this is a honey brown because of the color, or if it's a honey brown because they used honey in it. Because I have had both in my past, a honey brown that had honey and a honey brown that was just called honey brown because of the color. After talking to the guys that run this brewery, I would go that they've actually used honey in it. Oh yeah, look at that. That's a mahogany brown. Mocha head. It is murky, almost like diarrhea water. And I know that sounds gross, but kind of what I want personally in a brown ale. Scent, we'll start with the cup. Okay, a nuttiness, a roastiness, a beautiful caramel note. And there is a sweetness there. I just can't tell you whether or not I would say it is honey. Let's try the can next. So you get a look at that guy while we're doing the can. Okay, it kind of has a honey note, but it doesn't have... I've had artisanal honey and I've had big brand honey, and it kind of has that like almost Billy Bee type of honey smell. The very sweet type of honey. So that could be psychosomatic. It could not. I don't know. Slanche. Okay, so this almost comes off like a coffee, in that you have that roastiness, you have that caramel flavor, you have that like charred wood, you have that like nuttiness. It does come off kind of like a coffee sweetened with honey, because you get that super fresh sweet taste that honey would give off. I don't know how many of you have ever sweetened your coffee with honey. I know it's not normal. Normally you would do honey in your tea, but I have done honey in coffee. I find it to be nice, a nice change from granulated sugar, and it just gives a softer sweetness, and that's kind of what I'm getting on this, a softer sweetness that intermingles with the bitter brown ale at the back. It's not as smooth and easy drinking as some brown ales on the market, but it's refreshing, and it's a refreshing take on a brown ale compared to what you see on most occasions lately, which is like an American brown, which is just hopped out the yin yang. That drinks super nicely. It leaves a nice aftertaste too that's both dirty and sweet at the same time. And when I say dirty, I mean like earthy, like English-esque, and a beautiful sweetness that emanates back up through the throat. And again, the bitterness on this is not a hop bitterness. It's like a charred wood and an earthy bitterness, just dirty, earthy, mud pie, English ale type of bitterness. I really like that. That is going to get a that's going to get a 7.75 out of 10. I would buy that again for sure. That is a solid beer. I'm really impressed with this brewery, and it's so small and unsuspecting. You wouldn't look at it and go, oh my god, they're going to have a bunch of good beers. Best Montreal brewery I've had by far so far in my life. I mean, Deux de Ciel has gotten some 9.75s and stuff out of 10 from me, but I've had a lot of their breweries offerings, and there was a lot I didn't like or thought was meh. I bought 8 cans and I had 3 pints at the brewery itself, so that's 11 beers, and I think there's been one that I was not sold on, and everything else so far I've been like, yeah, I like this. And of those 11, I only have 3 left to try. So there's 7 that I've said I would buy again, and there was one that I was like, you know what, it's good, but I don't really like it. And for that, this is probably the best Montreal-based brewery I've had. And again, it's in the middle of nowhere. It's by the air. How they haven't had more people realize they exist and try their stuff, and they deserve more recognition than they get. Anyway, guys, thank you very much. Louks Brewery's Honey Brown. Bye-bye.